What's up, folks? Here today with my buddy Jason, and we are going to be checking out the Tops Tack Raise Friction Folder. Now, Jason really had a connection with this knife like right out of the gate, and he was like, dude, I want to do a video on that. And I said, sweet, let's do it. So I went over, I purchased one, gave it to him. He's been rocking it for several weeks now, had a good chance to get a feel for it. So I'm basically going to be kind of interviewing Jason today on what he likes about the blade, what stands out, and that type of thing. So Jason, what was kind of the first thing that made you gravitate towards just wanting this knife?
Well, Aaron, you know, when I first saw this knife, it's a unique blade. It's a unique shape. It takes the shape of a straight razor, the old barber style straight razor, and uniqueness like this has always stood out to me. It's something that when I first saw it, I said, hey man, that knife I want to get in my hands. I want to try it out and see what it can do. Secondly, it comes with this great leather sheath, and you can mount it vertically or horizontally.
Nice. Oh, dude, it's that recurve, man. That's awesome.
Guys, let's talk about the shape of this blade real quick. This is a snub-nosed Tanto sort of shape. It's got a great recurve on it, and as you saw in some of that footage, as soon as that material hits that recurve, it bites right in to whatever you're cutting. This is a 1095 steel, and to be honest with you, they did a really good job on this. I've put a lot of use into this over the last few weeks, and there's really not a scratch on it. It's got a great coating on it. You saw us cutting those zip ties, went through it like butter. The seatbelt material is a 2-inch nylon seatbelt material, and the blade length on this was almost a hair short to cut through something that thick, that dimension, 2-inch dimension, but once it bites in on that recurve, it just ripped right through it. The cardboard, you saw us cutting cardboard on this, guys. This thing shreds through it like butter. Guys, overall, this blade is fantastic. It's super sharp. I'm in the facility management industry, and for the last few weeks, I've put this thing through the ringer. It's stood up to everything I've done with it. It's cut everything I need to, and it's stayed pretty dang sharp still. You saw us cutting through that cardboard. We haven't touched it since we pulled it out of the package. And everything I've done to it in the last few weeks, it still cuts through that cardboard like butter. Guys, before we move on, let's talk about the blade specs real quick. Blade length, 3.25 inch. Cutting edge, 2.88. Blade thickness, 0.130. All right, guys, let's move on to the handle. Guys, let's talk about this handle for a second. This is black G10. The design is called Cryptic Cyber Scales, and I'm trying to get this good view on here for you guys. You can see kind of this pattern that the owner, Leo Espinoza, came up with this design for this knife. It's a really cool design. The knife itself overall weighs 2.7 ounces. So this is a killer light knife. It's super light, super comfortable. Don't even know I'm wearing it. I wear a size large glove. It fits my hand very well. The one thing I will say about it is it's got this little notch right here. And after this video, I think I'm going to modify that with a little bit of sandpaper and maybe kind of round this off a little more. When you choke up on it and really get to cutting stuff, it it can tend to pinch you right here. All in all, guys, this is a super comfortable knife. I love the way it feels in my hand. It's comfortable. I can hold it many different ways. And like any friction folder, if you get too much pressure on the front of that blade, it's going to come out. It kind of hits you right there in the palm a little bit. But the ergonomics of this knife are great. I like it. It's a great knife. Let's move on to deployment. All right, guys, let's talk about deployment here. This is a pretty good knife for deployment. It is a two-handed deployment knife, though. This tang right here sticks off the body of the handle about 1.5 inches. And that being said, anytime you try and fling this open, that tang is going to want to catch your finger. It's going to want to catch the webbing. It's definitely a two-handed deployment knife. It's super smooth. There's no play back and forth. It's very, 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 very solid. But as far as deployment, you're definitely safer if you go with that two-handed approach to it. You have to manipulate your hands if you want to try and do a one-handed deployment, which can sometimes get a little bit sketchy. Guys, let's talk about this sheath real quick. Tops did a really good job on this sheath. As you can see, this double stitch is superb. It's super strong, super durable, and you get the option of choosing this great brown or black. The sheath overall is about 3¼ tall by about 2.5 inches wide. It's very high quality, it's very thick, and the knife does not come out of this very easy. You have to get a good grip on it. So if you are rolling around on the ground or you're climbing on a ladder, maybe up in the ceiling or something, and this gets hung up through the woods, whatever, it doesn't come out that easy. You got to get a good grip on it to get that sucker out of there. Another cool thing that I like about this knife is that they offer you 2 different ways to mount this. You can mount this horizontally on your belt, or you can mount it vertically. It gives you 2 different options for the belt loops. Guys, let's talk about price real quick. Aaron picked this up on GP Knives. We'll have a link below for you guys to go and pick one up if you want. The price point he got this at was $85. We've seen it upwards of $130. I think it's pushing it a little bit at $130, but at $85, you can't go wrong. You get this great leather holster. You're getting G10 handles, and you're getting tops made in the USA. Doesn't get better than that. $85, this is definitely a winner. Highly recommend this blade to any of you guys out there looking for a great friction folder. Well, Aaron, my final thoughts on this tack raise. It's a great blade. If you're looking for something that stands out of the crowd, friction folder, this is it. It's stood up to everything I've put it through in the last few weeks. And to top it off, I showed this to my old school barber friend, and he flipped out. He loved the looks. He loved everything about it, and he's going to get one. Those are my final thoughts, Aaron. Great blade.
Well, folks, there you have it. I appreciate Jason. Thank you again, buddy, for running this through the ringer. You know, because this wasn't quite my style, but when Jason said that he was totally into it, I was like, sweet, because I wanted to get the info out there, the action out there for you guys who are interested in this style of blade. So it was cool to have somebody who was really interested in it run this through the ringer. So as always, guys, thank you so much for coming over here. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. Any questions you have, Jason and I will try and answer in the comments below. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.